How to do your eyes to look open. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca. Today's video is going to be really quick because it might be a little redundant, but it's just something I want to kind of put on repeat, okay? Yeah. So I've done this method a couple times in other videos, and we're talking about hooded eyes, droopy eyelids, whatever it is, even if your eyes are not droopy or whatever your eye shape, but having the illusion of a brighter, bigger eye, okay? More awake, right? Versus a droopier kind of bedroom eye, which actually isn't a bad thing and might be something I want to experiment. That kind of like Marilyn Monroe heavy eyelid look. But today we are going to do something to give you that look of, oh, look at me. I look a little more, you know, a little like I've had coffee and maybe 8 hours of sleep. Do some basic eyeshadow placement. When you put your darkest shade, even your mid-tone shade, to your eyelid, make sure you are not going too far down this way or too far this way. Unless, of course, you're creating a halo eye, which is dark here, dark there, kind of bright in the center, and it's a whole look. But for sort of your regular, everyday eyeshadow look, I'm going to show you the difference of putting eyeshadow down here, which I've sort of done, versus putting eyeshadow a little higher up. And I am going to, out of laziness, use this Natasha Denona little palette. This is the matte mini. I love it, but let me just say that I also love LA Girl. I love ColourPop. I love Essence. There's a lot of shadows I love, Wet n Wild. So if you have just sort of a neutral kind of mix of taupes and browns that you use, feel free to reach for that. And eyeshadow brushes are important too. So I like to have something that is not too big and fluffy, but just sort of this size. This is the BK Beauty. This is the Angie Hot and Flashy A508. And that is such a great, just all over shadow placement. This is a smaller shadow brush. This is from What's Up Beauty sent me this, but something small like this. And then I like to have kind of a little bit of a more dense brush. This is the Rougher 28, and it's a little flat, it's a little short, and I like something like that too. And if you want to also have something like an all over shade blender, I love a Sigma blending. This is an F25, I think. This is an old one. I have a new one, and I have a discount code. I have discount codes for several. Anyway, and something to have like this is great too, where I like to use this almost as like I keep it clean. I keep it to blend. I've already done it, but I'm going to show you I'm going to retrace my steps. So what I've done is I've placed shadow in concentration to exaggerate for you. And I've taken a dark shade like this brown right here, and I have placed it a little bit down here, because sometimes you think, well, this is my corner shade, right? This is the dark corner shade. Well, it doesn't have very much room to go. And in some cases, based on your anatomy, if this is still kind of doing a lot of this, the gravity is taking over, then what's going to happen as time, body heat, movement, dynamic, smiles, everything is just going to kind of start to go this towards the earth. And this is something I do all the time, and I do it, and then I go, why am I doing this? And you can always clean it up with eye cream or concealer. It's not the end of the world. This isn't, we are not doing a don't do or a wrong or a right. This is just something I want to let you understand in terms of just basic physiology and kind of shadow place, just, you know, dark and light. So when we do this, you're also, the darker shade you go up into here, you're kind of hollowing this out, which as we age, this part hollows out. And so then that kind of makes you to look a little less young. God, I hate it. It's like we don't need to not look old, but we want to look young. Sorry. Anyway, fighting the patriarchy. So what I'm going to do is show you when I take that same shade, but on this side, I go a little higher here. So I'm still using the middle above my crease, but I am not as far down. But I am going to achieve the same kind of depth, the same blend shadow. It's gonna look like that shadow, but it's gonna have a trick where your eye is open versus your eye is kind of down here. And we can do all that we can to blend and help this. But to be honest, you're sort of, you've done it. What's done is done and it cannot be undone. Yeah, so I just like it to do this way, and then I honestly, and maybe I'm gonna end up going too far in the center. I can just see myself overcorrect, and then 2 years from now I'm gonna be like, don't put your shadow on like this. Okay, and so what I like to do, I'm even using this dense brush, which the reason I have this dense brush, so this is the second thing I do, is I take a little bit of that same shadow and I just kind of go a little light shadow underneath the waterline, and we like to blend that out. Now, sometimes what I do is I go up here, or I like to connect this and I can continue this. But again, body heat, gravity, you know, genetics, you're really gonna you're working against that. Whereas if you sort of fake it and go like so, and then fake it and go like so, you don't want to disconnect, but you also don't necessarily need it so thick and connected and heavy. And it's an illusion, it really is. So that is sort of the basic. Can you tell the difference? And I like to also go one step further. So if we blend this, you always want to blend. If you think you're not blended enough, or if you don't know if you should blend more, then go ahead, blend more, always blend. And and so I also like to take either a shadow crayon, you can even use a concealer pencil like the Lisa Eldridge. You can use, I've got this Thrive Cosmetics one, and it's kind of a white, and doing just a smidge, okay? Whereas you could also do that here, but then you're kind of still weighing that down. And I do like to do the waterline with like a little bit of a lighter pencil. I like to do the inner corner because I get really dark there. And I might just leave it, or I might kind of put a little white right here. This kind of gives the eye, like, it's where the largest roundness of your eyeball is, and so it's going to give that eyeball is gonna pop. So if you can see it, great, and it helps, love it. If not, and it's like whatever, I don't see a difference, then okay, hi. And then of course mascara is, you know, our friend. We love mascara. Oh, and then we do that, and then we have to clean up anyway, so. And that's our time, folks. That's the universe saying, let's go back and fix this eye, please. Yeah, can you tell? Can you tell? But we just wait for that to dry, and we take a cotton bud. Sometimes I even take these old shadow sponges. I kind of keep them around for fun. And then, there we go. I'm not wearing any other makeup right now. I'm gonna put on some foundation and stuff. This was just merely to show you how you can actually create something that looks a little brighter. And you're not going to feel like you need to rely so much on concealer and other things if your eyes sort of do all the work. Yeah. All right. See, look at this. I'm smiling and it's just sinking. It's like it just wants to go down. We are gonna work that. Work it. Work. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching. I will list all the things I used in the description box, and any other tutorials or sort of tricks and tips. I will put those either in iCard up in the screen or down below in the description box. Please click that more button under the video, because that's what's going to open the description box, and you can either subscribe to my channel, you can find me on Instagram, and you can shop from my links. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.